This is it, the grand finale. Chelsea versus PSG, MetLife Stadium, New Jersey, this Sunday, 8 p.m. For some, it's just another final. For Chelsea fans, it's an opportunity to bring back a second piece of silverware under the BlueCo era and prove to the world that this project is very much alive. I'm not going to lie, at the start of the tournament, I never believed we would be in the final. People say Chelsea took the easy part, but let me remind you, we knocked out Maresca, the same team that eliminated the only side to beat PSG in this tournament, Botafogo. That Fluminense team also dumped out Al Hilal and Inter Milan. That's not easy route, that's statement. João Pedro lit it up with a banger against his boyhood club Fluminense and sealed our place in the final with swagger. But now, the ultimate test. Down to PSG, the favourites, no cap. They are the best team in the world right now. They humbled Bayern 2-0 in the quarters, destroyed Real Madrid 4-0 in the semis. This is the same team that smashed Inter 5-0 last season Champions League final. And before that, they sent Liverpool, Aston Villa, Arsenal packing from Europe. This squad is ridiculous. The midfield trio of João Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Luiz, the balance, the control, the energy. It's next level. And in the attack, we have got a Ballon d'Or contender in Ousmane Dembele. You have got the golden boy Desire Doué, pure sauce and explosiveness, and then Kavichi Kvaratskhelia, aka Kavradona, the modern winger prototype. Even Bracola coming off the bench. That's how stacked they are. This PSG side has power, flair, frightening chemistry, and they are not here to play. But here's the thing about Chelsea under Enzo Maresca. We are evolving. This team have shown maturity in this tournament, discipline, identity, and hunger. Caicedo might return for the final, fingers crossed. Levi Colwill is back from suspension, massive for our backline. Leon Delap is also available again, another weapon Maresca can call on. Tactically, we have to be compact, transition well, exploit their highline. Players like Palmer, Neto need to be brave. And let's not forget the leadership of Rich James Cucurella. They have been monsters this tournament. Now people ask me, am I scared? No. But am I worried? Absolutely. Because we are up against a footballing machine. But finals aren't won by hype. They are won by heart. And Chelsea, my friends, we have got heart. We have been counted out before. 2012 against Bayern, 2021 against Manchester City. We live for this moment. And on Sunday in front of 82,000 at MetLife, the Blues might just shock the world again. This final won't be won by passion or moment of magic. It's going to be settled in the engine room, the midfield. We are talking about a midfield war. Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Luiz versus Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. Two technical, brilliant trios, but built differently. PSG thrive on control, movement. Neves and Vitinha can dictate tempo like FIFA on 80% game speed. Calm, crisp, and clean. Fabian Luiz is the glue. He pops up between the line, keeps it ticking, and can strike from distance. But Chelsea have their own answer. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo when fit offers bite and brain. And you add Cole Palmer in the mix, a creative white card who can fight pockets and exploit chaos. If Maresca wants to add extra spice, he could overload the midfield with Andre Santos or Romeo Lavia. That gives Chelsea a 4-man blocks that can help shut the PSG rhythm down. Expect Maresca to be flexible. If we struggle to control the tempo early on, don't be shocked if he pulls Palmer wider, tucks in Romeo Lavia as a double pivot. It could turn into a midfield dogfight. And we will need every ounce of energy and intelligence to survive it. Let's talk about PSG's biggest risk and our biggest potential reward, the fullbacks. Nuno Mendes and Achraf Hakimi are electric going forward. They create width, overload, and chaos. But they leave gaps. Gaps we can exploit. If we transition quickly, especially after turnovers, there will be spaces behind both wing back. Palmer, Neto, João Pedro, whoever plays out wide, has to be alive for this moment. One smart pass and suddenly it's 3v3 or even 3v2. Let's be honest, stopping PSG isn't about system, it's about winning duels. James versus Kvaratskhelia. This is going to be a battle for ages. Luis James has the strength and intelligence to deal with streaky wingers, but Kvaratskhelia is unpredictable. If James wins this duel, we take away a massive weapon from PSG. Cucurella versus Desire Doué. Cucurella might not be flashy, but he's reliable. Positionally sharp, aggressive in tackle, and relentless. He's faced wingers like Doué before and come out up top. The danger though is that Luis Enrique loves to surprise. Don't be shocked if Bracola starts, or if Dembele switches wing mid-match. PSG will look to drag our defense out of shape, and that's where communication from backline becomes crucial. Up front, Maresca has a genuine selection dialing. A good one, but still a headache. João Pedro just scored 2 worldies in the semis. He's sharp, mobile, link play well. Leon Delap, fresh from suspension. brings physicality and runs in between. And then we have Nicolas Jackson, always a handful with his chaotic style. Now, the big question is, who starts? Does Maresca trust João Pedro in first 9 role to help us dominate the ball? Or does he unleash Jackson chaos to stretch the PSG backline? Or does he go brave and start both Jackson and Pedro and use the lap as a second half weapon? Whichever way it goes, the bench would decide this final. Chelsea have the depth. Nkunku, Lavia, Santos, the lap. These boys will be key if the game stretch into extra time. Expect PSG to control early stages. They'll want the ball, they will try to drag us side by side. Chelsea need to be compact, organized, and then hit on the break with precision. Maresca coaching will be tested more than ever, but this team have shown growth. They have shown grit. If we stay disciplined, win our duels, and take our chances, we might just leave that Club World Cup on Sunday night. Chelsea vs PSG isn't just a final. It's the continuation of a similar rivalry that started in Europe and now stretched across continents, from Stamford Bridge to MetLife Stadium. Let's break it all down. Overall record, PSG leads with 3 wins. Chelsea have 2 and 3 draws between them. But these numbers don't paint the full story. The most heated encounter came between 2014 to 2016. 3 straight years of heated knockout football in the Champions League. 2015-2016, a tied each in Champions League history. Chelsea were knocked out on away goals after a dramatic 2 legs, 1-1 and 2-2. It was the night that David Luiz scored against us, and Thiago Silva broke the Blues' heart in the extra time. 2015-2016, PSG came back stronger. They beat us 2-1 in both legs, sealing a 4-2 aggregate win and sending us packing yet again. These games weren't just tactical masterclass. There were wars, red cards, drama, controversy, and passion. In between, there was a 1-1 draw at 2015 International Champions Cup, a friendly, but even then, it went to penalties, and Chelsea won. Because when these two met, there is always tension. Nearly a decade later, everything has changed, but the stakes feels just as high. Chelsea, a young team, full of talent and unpredictability, trying to prove we belong on the world stage again. PSG, the modern juggernauts, still chasing the global respect beyond Europe, still looking to cement themselves as more than just hype. This is no longer Ibrahimovic versus Hazard. This is Palmer versus Dembele. João Neves versus Moises Caicedo. For fans who remember those wild Champions League nights, this final hits different. It's not just for the Club World Cup trophy, it's for bragging rights, it's for redemption. And for Chelsea, it's chance to flip the script. The last time we beat PSG in a meaningful game was in 2014. Sunday is the perfect time to make it too. So now here is my predicted 11 on the screen. That lineup I just gave you, that's not just a predicted 11. That's a statement. It's bold, it's balanced, and it's built for war. I've got experience at the back, still in midfield, flair out wide, and a man in form leading the line. But this is football, and this is PSG. So everything comes down to a fine margin. Starting in goal, Robert Sanchez. Look, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He's either going to be the hero or the headline for the wrong reasons. The talent is there, shot stopping underrated, distribution, I prefer not to speak, suspect under pressure. But finals are all about mentality. And on Sunday, Sanchez needs to channel prime Peter Cech energy, calm, commanding, and clutch. At fullback, Rhys James and Marc Cucurella will give us the balance we need. Rhys has the physicality to match up Kvaratskhelia, band for band. Cucu is an ultimate dog, clutch tackles, huge clearance, and he lives for chaos. Tosin and Colwill are the heart of our defense. That's area dominance, strength, and a left and right balance. Tosin positioning has been elite all tournaments. Colwill, fresh, hungry, and with a point to prove. Now in the midfield, if Lavia is fit, he starts. Simple. Why? Because against midfield like João Neves, Vitinha, Ruben Dias, you can't come soft. You need players who eat pressure for breakfast. So you put Lavia as the anchor, Caicedo as the ball winner, Enzo Fernandez as the dictator. That stroke can frustrate PSG with him and give us a foothold. Now on the left wing, I'll put Pedro Neto. People might say it's a risk playing him on his weaker flank, but this guy is unpredictable, direct, and when he cuts inside, defenders panic. Yet he has had a monster of a tournament, and I'm backing him to make another statement. On the other wing is Cole Palmer. Let's be honest, when it comes to final, Palmer always shows up. He's got the final DNA, whether it's for England in the Euros or Super Cup for City or in the Conference League for Chelsea. He delivers every single time. And on Sunday, the spotlight is on him again. Leading the line is the man in form, João Pedro. The boyhood Flamini's fan who knocked them out with a worldie now is being tasked delivering the ultimate moment, bringing us the Club World Cup trophy. João Pedro has the technique, intelligence to disturb the PSG centre-backs, but this will be his biggest test yet. Now the question is, will he rise or will the weight of expectation crush him? Now here's my prediction. I don't think we are going to win in 90 minutes. I think this match goes to penalties because what's at stake, but I'm backing Chelsea to win. This could be the defining night for BlueCo era so far. Everything Maresca has built, every moment of pain, every rebuild, every drop point, it all leads to this. PSG wants the crown, but Chelsea, we want respect. We want the world to know this project is for real. And this Sunday, under the light of New Jersey, we might just take it. So that's the video there. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Up the Chelsea, let's bring it home.